Hi everybody, it's Christopher and welcome to Life's Not Over, It Just Looks Different on YouTube. October is Disability Employment Awareness Month in Canada, a time to celebrate the accomplishments of people with disabilities who are in the workplace, and also an opportunity to encourage employers who have vacancies to fill in their company or are looking to expand their teams to take another look at people with disabilities, because there is a huge untapped resource of people with knowledge and skills who are dying to be those star employees that you're looking for. In today's video, I want to build on a previous video I did about my interview experiences as a person with sight loss and talk a little bit about some of the places that I've worked over the last 16 years and why they were amazing places to be as a person with sight loss. The first place I want to talk about is VoicePrint Canada, what is now called AMI Audio. That was an interesting transition for me because prior to my sight loss, I had been a volunteer reader with VoicePrint. And then when I lost my sight and through my recovery period, I kept in touch with the staff. And when I had recovered enough that I felt good enough to get back into the workforce and I was looking for a new job, they happened to have an opening for a studio producer. And knowing about my previous broadcast experience, they invited me to apply for the position. Working for VoicePrint for almost 2.5 years was a phenomenal experience because not only was I in a place who had a mandate to provide a service to people with sight loss, there were also 4 other people on staff who were blind or partially sighted, who not only were fantastic coworkers to work with, but they were also a great resource because I was still a guy adjusting to my sight loss and sometimes had questions about how to do certain things. But those guys were always there for me, and if I had a question, they always had an answer, which I fully appreciated and could not have found a better place to have as my first job back in the workforce. Later, I wanted to go off and try my hand at financial services, as I talked about in the other video, because I'd taken a couple of courses and I wanted to go see if I could do that and do well in that business. After a couple of tries, I landed a role with TD Waterhouse Discount Brokerage, and I talked in the other video about the interview experience that I had with them. And working for them was absolutely fantastic because not only was the management team there wonderfully supportive and encouraging and open to helping me really fit into the niche that I wanted to hit, especially being able to a person who could promote the Registered Disability Savings Plan. That became a bit of a niche for me, so that was a lot of fun. And all of my coworkers there were just so warm and wonderful and encouraging that I really enjoyed being in that environment. And I was there for just over 3 years. And the only reason I left was because I moved to Calgary in 2012. When I moved to Calgary in 2012, I did take on a couple of different roles and try a few different workplaces, but I was having trouble finding a place that was giving me as good a feeling and really driving me as much as I had had with Waterhouse or with my time at VoicePrint and even back in my broadcast career. I was having trouble finding that role that was really capturing me just that much. Until 2016, when I went to CNIB. And again, in that video, I talked about my interview experience with them. But working for CNIB was a fantastic experience and still is, to be honest, because I'm still there. But my first role was in the retail shop that we had. And what I discovered while I was working in that role, myself and my other colleague in there who was also partially sighted, we were very often people's first point of contact, sometimes after coming from their doctor's office, having just received a diagnosis, maybe with macular degeneration or glaucoma or some other eye condition. And now their doctor said, go down to CNIB and see what they can do for you. So people were walking into the retail shop, which was just inside of one of the main entrances, and kind of walking in, not really knowing what to ask or what to expect or what they were going to find. And so it was kind of a neat experience to be their first point of contact where they could see myself and my colleague operating this retail shop and being people with sight loss who were making a living and working and doing a full-time job. So it made a noticeable difference in some people's demeanor once they met us and got to see that and got to see us doing those things. After doing that for about 15 months, the opportunity to work in community education became available. And I jumped at that chance because not only do I love doing public speaking and love being up in front of audiences, I really wanted to do the community education role because after all of the help that CNIB had provided to me back in my early days of my sight loss in 2005 to about late 2006, they had done so much for me in giving me skills with assistive technology and an orientational mobility, finding me a magnifier, and most of all, giving me the confidence to be a person with sight loss who could work and do and function and do all of these things. I wanted to be able to, what I felt was pay it forward and go out and tell the rest of the world just how much that helped me gain my confidence to be where I'm at, and let them know that with the help of the team at CNIB, that they too could have as independent a life as they want to have. So that has been a phenomenal experience going on almost 4 years now, which I've absolutely loved. And I'm really hoping that I can ride this job into retirement, but we'll see. Things change, things happen. But so far, I've had just amazing experiences in the last 16 years in my work life. And this being Disability Employment Awareness Month in Canada, I thought this was a really great opportunity to talk about some of the employment experiences I've had over the last 16 years as a person with sight loss. And I wanted to share that in this video today. I want to thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.